Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Voiced live show or quick live video, whatever the fuck is gonna happen, folks. I mean, we're testing out some shit here, folks. We got one viewer, ladies and gentlemen. I might talk with the live chat if a chat shows up there. Brand new channel. Cat's excited. Basically, I wanted to talk about a little tweet that I read from Tony Khan earlier today, folks. Now, before I start there, the past 3-4 channels that I've had, Katz wants to give his opinion out there. He's upset about the StreamYard situation that I'm going through, folks, and so am I there. Peter Spence, what's up, my man, WJ? Well, let me tell you, Peter, I mean, I tried once again to connect the StreamYard or whatever. It says come back, it says enable live stream, then come back and set up again. Well, as you can see, Peter, my live stream is enabled there. It's here. I'm here, folks. I can't go live out of my ass or whatever. The live stream is enabled, but for some reason, the fucking StreamYard just doesn't want to play ball, folks. So I'm going to have to try to get some help to figure this bullshit out. I don't know if it's a glitch. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But if not, we're going to have to settle for this setup again there. I don't even know if I can turn my camera off. I don't even think I can. Microphone. I don't even think I can turn the cam off, even if I wanted to. I was thinking with the StreamYard, I can invite people in or whatever. Killer of Demons. Peter Gilmore, StreamYard sucks. Peter Spence, the two Peters. Two Peters! Holy shit. But with the StreamYard, I can bring people in or whatever. But honestly, I mean, WJ doesn't need any help to talk about wrestling. I mean, Peter, I'm the better looking one, Mr. Spence, he says. But it'd be cool if I could turn my camera off, if I'm tired or something, if I look like shit. It would be easier with all the negative people in the wide world. You see, you know what I mean? When people write nasty shit in the chat, if I could block my camera, then they wouldn't see my facial expression or whatever. We got Fan of Oscar. Hello, WJ there. And then, so let's say I go to look at the next thing in the chat. Fan of Bray Wyatt. Hey, what's up, WJ? You're a fat piece of shit. If the camera was turned off, then I could hide these expressions or whatever. Where's the Hulkster? Looking at the chat there, but it looks like we're gonna be stuck with this, folks, with the camera on, baby. I might probably get more viewership with the camera on anyway there. Peter, it's probably a glitch. I don't know. I'll get Jerry or Zubair to try to figure this out for me there. And if it don't work, then it don't fucking work, folks. We're just going to use this YouTube shit or whatever there. It works fine enough, I guess. Beater Car, Wrestling Jesus, thank you for returning. Yes, sir. And this time I'm back for good, folks. I know I've said this 1,000 times. It's not that I don't want to make vids. If I close this, then I end up on Facebook doing even more shit. Might as well just fucking, you know, stay here once and for all or whatever there. Eddie 001, McMahon finally understood they need to distance themselves from the indie shit. It's terrible, the indie wrestling. It just doesn't compare, and it's embarrassing there. Vanny Fox, good evening there, WJ. Hello. Peter Spence, fan of Chad Gable or some shit. Chad Gable got his big match against Big E or whatever the other night. Why Big E against Chad Gable? You fucking tell me, man. Like, Killer of Demons, you can make people mods, WJ. You give mods to the wrong guy. Next thing you know, everybody on your subscribers list is blocked. It's the Costanza, baby, my spirit animal. Yes. Wrestling Snowman. Hello, WJ. Hello, Snowman. Happy to see you there. Fan of Oscar, I would be one of your mods to boot people. We'll look into this mod stuff, see what it's like there. But Ringmaster Mike, folks, I've known this guy a long time. Braun Breaker will save WWE. Yes. Will he save it? Time will tell there, but I like Braun Breaker. I made a vid about this in Wrestling Ranters about a month ago there. I said 5 reasons I like Braun Breaker. Can I remember that there? The promos, he's got charisma, basically. He's a Steiner, folks. I talked about how in the ring he was okay and he looks like a wrestler, believable. You know what I mean? Matt Jackson, if he talks shit to me, I wouldn't be afraid of him. He's smaller than me, shorter than me. Braun Breaker, he looks like he can kick my ass. You know what I mean? That's what a wrestler should look like. Eddie WJ is more over than AEW. Vanny Fox, I want to personally thank you, WJ, that I got suspended from Facebook for a month from posting a funny reply in your group. So that happens, but it's not me that flags it, it's Facebook. You know what I mean? You gotta watch what you say on Facebook because, like, they detect everything. You know what I mean? It's SJW Central. You gotta watch what you write, what you say. Because Facebook themselves, they nail people. It's not me or Jerry or the other admins. It just happens by Facebook. People think you're more secure in the private group, but you're not. Spike Shooter, WJ better than CM Punk, Kenny, and Adam Cole. Thank you, Spike. It's the Costanza. Up, down, down is being trashed by WWE and payments. Diabolical Braun Breaker is good, and Mandy Rose is doing good on NXT. She looks fucking hot on NXT. I mean, at first, the different hair color was confusing a little there, but goddamn! All right, so before I forget, I'll get back to the chat in a minute there. Before I forget, I'm going to talk about this Tony Khan tweet that he wrote earlier today there. With hours till Dynamite goes live tonight on TNT. As a wrestling fan myself, Tony Khan there. He's pandering enough here. As a wrestling fan myself, I have a request for you fellow fans. Like, this guy's a billionaire, you know. He's not a billionaire that's making money off of big dummy indie fans there. He's your fellow fan. Isn't this corny enough? As a wrestling fan myself, I have a request for you fellow fans. I feel like I'm reading something written by Andre Cornel. Hello, wrestling fan. Please, wrestling fan, subscribe to my channel. I have a request for you, my fellow fans. This is a huge week for AEW, and tonight's a great night to try to hook a friend into watching AEW with you. Please consider spreading your love of wrestling today. Like, I like how Tony Khan tries to talk like a 20-year-old girl that watches indie wrestling. You know what I mean? There's not that many there, but please consider spreading up your love of wrestling today. Give me a fucking break. Like, let's read this fucking desperate tweet again. With hours till Dynamite goes live tonight on TNT, as a wrestling fan myself, I have a request for you fellow fans. This is a huge week for AEW, and tonight's a great night to try to hook a friend into watching AEW with you. Please consider spreading your love of wrestling today. He sounds desperate enough for ratings, Tony Tone or whatever. Like, according to his big supporters, the supporters who call him daddy on Twitter. Imagine being a grown man calling another man daddy. Like, the fuck is wrong with these people? But apparently he's only promoting his show. It's obvious that he's desperate as fuck. Desperate at an embarrassing level there to get ratings for his shitty show, folks. Okay, let's look at the recent numbers there. Like I said, Rampage, a disaster. That goes without saying. He had 1,000,000. He was going down there. Then they went on Saturday Night Dynamite for 2 weeks. They got very low ratings, like 500,000-600,000 or whatever, maybe 7 on one of the weeks for Dynamite. This was on Saturday night for the supposed best show of the year, or best wrestling show on TV, I mean. Oh, you can't get viewers on Saturday night. Vince McMahon, look it up. A Saturday night wrestling show, 30 million viewers back in the day. 30 million. Tony Khan gets 500,000-600,000 for Dynamite. It's okay. It's on Saturday night, whatever. They're back. He gets just above 1,000,000 the first Wednesday night back, and then 900,000, and then 800,000, folks. Does this sound like a success there? Meltzer was saying the numbers were going to beat Raw or whatever. Raw just got the third hour, the worst it's ever done. It's still beating Dynamite. No matter how low Raw gets, it's still right now beating Dynamite. Third worst rating in history. The third hour, worst of all time. But still, Raw's still getting better ratings than them. You know what I mean? And suddenly this week, after an embarrassing 800,000 last week, Daddy Khan is your fellow friend this week. As a fellow wrestling fan, please, this is the time to hook your friends. This is the time to hook your friends to watch the show. Isn't that embarrassing? Like, I never seen Vince McMahon go on Twitter and write this. Please ask your friends to watch. I never seen this. Embarrassing, you know what I mean? Fan of Asuka, CM Punk got beat by Becky and Sasha. Old man Punk, he ain't fucking doing the job, you know what I mean? Imagine if this was still 2007, 2009, and AEW posting those numbers, they would get laughed at. If Dixie Carter would have wrote something like this, please get your friends to watch, darling, we all would have mocked Dixie. This fucking nerd fake motherfucker writes this and they're sucking his dick. A lot of people were telling him, hey, are you getting desperate for ratings? Are you writing this because the viewership is going down? It's obvious that's what it is. But there was a couple people in the comments, they write, oh, sorry, Tony, I don't have any friends. Hey, the only fan. I saw like 10, 20 tweets that wrote this. Sorry, Tony, I don't have any friends. Danny Fox, Tony is a four-eyed geek. Rune X, I never heard Vince McMahon pleading for people to watch. Me neither. Never seen this. You know, they make fun of this stand up for WWE stuff on Twitter, the AEW fans. This is way worse than stand up for WWE. Can you please watch our show? Please, this is the night to convince your friends to watch. Come on. It's like, it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? You know. They want to make fun of stand up for WWE. What about this? This is straight up begging for viewership from one wrestling fan to the next. You don't get any more corny fake than this. Please consider spreading your love of wrestling today. What is this there? Like, the fuck is this? Like, this is embarrassing. This is corny, fake bullshit. Vanny Fox, bring back Alex Wright. I remember my father's aunt, my great aunt, or whatever. She had a big crush on Alex Wright, the German guy or whatever. She used to call him her little rock and roll. She would say this in French, oh, it's rock and roll. It's no boom, it's rock and roll. And then when he would get beat up, she would start crying because she was old school, right? She'd probably be close to 100 by now. Back then, they took this shit serious. And she liked Alex Wright for whatever reason. She had a big crush on him. She would cry if he would get beat up, and he didn't win often. And her brother, he took wrestling so serious, he threw a dart in the back of one of the wrestlers at an arena in Gatineau, Quebec, or whatever. He threw a dart in the back of one of the wrestlers. I'd have to ask my dad which wrestler it was. An old French Canadian wrestler. He took it so serious. He threw a dart in his back and to one of the heels or whatever because they thought it was real. And the wrestler apparently punched him in the jaw and shattered his jaw. You know what I mean? It's the Costanza. AEW needs a dart. I'm German. Alex owns a wrestling school. It's a shame he didn't get signed by WWE after the takeover. They lost PTSD anime manga satire. I always got the vibe Alex Wright was into guys with his dancing. It's possible. I don't know. Alex Wright is Jack now. Hmm. Maybe AEW will sign him. I was in Hammerstein when CM Punk made his TV debut. It was nearly a real riot. They booed big against Batista to a stop. He even got on the microphone to try to reason with the crowd during commercial. Well, back then he was doing good stuff. He got a big reaction. In AEW, not so much. 5-star general CM Punk is 43, looks 53. Wrestles like he's 63. I agree. Alex Wright is way too talented for AEW. Probably is. What else was I reading today? There's stuff about AEW. According to Meltzer, Tony Khan said that they're almost all vaccinated, the roster or something. Is it Jericho that doesn't want to get the fucking shot there? This was the ECW show where they pulled RVD for the drug bust, so Sabu did a run in at the end. AEW will sign Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons next. Alex Wright's dance is more over than anyone on AEW, says Kevin Bowes. Stray Gamer, fuck, not this guy. In the AEW, above average Mike Sanders would be pushed as a main eventer. I don't know who he is, but he sounds like somebody they would push. Space Ghost Benoit just got done recommending watching AEW tonight to all four of my friends. And some of them were saying this, yes, Tony, I'm going to tell my friends tonight. Like, what's wrong with these fans? Like, straight up. For some reason, they can't see through the obvious manipulation and bullshit. Like, 2-3 years of Cody Rhodes with his fucking politician gimmick with this company. They can't tell that this is all bullshit. These fans, like, Spike Shooter, Alex Wright versus Disco Inferno would be the feud of the year nobody saw coming. I'm a big fan of Disco Inferno's podcast with Conan. Folks, I need a cigarette. There, a quick puff at a cigarette. Too bad I can't fucking turn off the camera, folks. Little moonwalk as I go to my cigarettes, ladies. Can you still hear me, folks? I don't want to give y'all some dead air, folks. What's going on in this chat there? TJ rules. Just in time for greatness. TJ. Long-time viewer, folks. Vanny Fox, I hate Conan, always have. AWJ, did you hear about the BS that happened to the Smart Busters recently? No, I haven't seen that. What's up with that, Stray Gamer? Let me know. Let the wrestling Jesus know there. If I could set up the StreamYard, I could bring Zubair on and shit. But looks like I'm stuck with this. TJ Rule's a name I haven't heard in a long time. He's still around. I've seen him on a couple things there. I never liked Conan. I was only into Conan style, not his gang hood one. WJ always with the bands and mints. Tony Khan is going to make CM Punk put over Sonny Kiss. Because that's what AEW fans want. I mentioned this about Sonny Kiss. They talk about how they're all inclusive, stuff like this, right? They had Sonny Kiss on the show one time. He was there 2-3 times in like 2+ years. Cody Rhodes, he goes on a big Twitter rant about people talking against Sonny Kiss, blah, blah, blah. Cody uses this obviously to get over, you know what I mean? And after the match, we never see Sonny Kiss again. Push Sonny Kiss over a cliff. There was rumors CM Punk was supposed to lose to Ricky Starks. I don't get it with Ricky Starks. Like, I don't get what's special about him. He's too skinny. Fuck. He looks like he weighs about 100 pounds. He can talk. He looks like a comical guy a bit, but he's not really funny. I don't know what he's supposed to be. But back to the thing about Sonny Kiss. Cody uses him to look good. You never fucking see Sonny Kiss again. What is this? Like, what is this? I'm a simple man. I see Sonny. I change the channel. 5-star general. There is no such thing as the next Rock. Rock was special. He ended up becoming a movie star for good reasons, you know. John Cena, he's in movies too, but not the same, you know. Cena was like a wannabe Rock kind of deal. Dre Satch, AEW will lose 100,000 viewers, win the demo, and claim victory. Well, that's what it is there. I saw a few tweets today. Oh, the ratings not important. Of course, it's not important. Of course, suddenly it was all about how they were beating a NXT, AEW, or NXT in the mud, WWE in the mud. You know, suddenly the ratings don't matter when they get down to 800,000. Spike Shooter, I take it Malachi Black is the next Undertaker. Is it really? Are they really going that far with it? Like I heard people saying this kind of stuff, but like he's a midget for God's sake. Just because he's dressed in black and he's supposed to be whatever the fuck he is. Why would he be an Undertaker? Why would people even mention him in the same conversation as the Undertaker? See, usually when I have the StreamYard, I can do this shit with the camera off, get up and walk around and shit. Sorry, folks, I don't like smoking on camera there. I don't want to look like I'm trying to be cool or giving the wrong message to people there, but feeling the adrenaline, folks. This is the kind of rush that I can't get on fucking Facebook. You know what I mean? But join the grooves, folks. I mean, Wrestling Ranters. I got the Wrestling Jesus group. I was going to post a lot of stuff in the WJ group, but we got the real thing instead here, folks. The Wrestling Jesus channel. I'm still going to do stuff in the WJ group, little vids, maybe food review or something. Who fucking 5-star general Queen Zelina. I like Zelina. I don't like her the way the indie fans pretend to like her. Just think she's fucking hot. Um, Britt Baker is the next Mae Young. WJ, do you remember your WWE 8er 69 channel? I think that was just a video. I might have done something like that. Fuck, a lot of stuff I've done. People they show me stuff I've done 10 years ago. It's like, jeez, what the fuck was I doing? I'm a lot older now. When I started on YouTube, I was 23. You know what I mean? Now I'm 38, so I'm a lot older. You know what I mean? I'm more mature, guy. I'm very mature. But some of the stuff I probably wouldn't do today. They're like all the fucking over the top drama and all of this shit. Some of the crazy trolling, some of the shit I see now that I've done. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. But it was done for comedy purpose, folks. I mean, it was a different time. I mean, I was a kid back then. At least I didn't finger my own ass like Ricochet, folks. At least there's that. Review the CM Punk ice cream bar. Is that an action? Do they actually have them? Oh, yeah, in AEW. Can't believe fans were paying $1,000 to have a wrapper of the ice cream bar. Imagine. Apparently, they were paying big money like that for just the fucking wrapper of the CM Punk ice cream bars. 2 weeks later, they weren't even cheering hardly for Punk and nobody watched the show. These indie fans are fucking weird. Like, who would pay money for a dirty chocolate or ice cream bar wrapper that some 300-pound freak had on his all over his face there? You know what I mean? They were paying big money like that to buy a piece of paper. Fuck, like, what a bunch of idiots. And what do they gain out of this? They gain nothing. They gain fuck all. Hey, I watch New Japan. Who cares? Like, nobody fucking cares that you have Young Bucks t-shirt. You know, I hope they're paying for this shit with their hard-earned money there. I don't know who would hire these people, you know what I mean? But you're stop wasting your money on this fucking junk. You don't need to spend $40 on the t-shirt of Young Bucks. They're jobbers, for God's sake. Open your fucking eyes. Like, you would figure that the hardcore wrestling fans who claim to be smart fans, you would figure that they're smarter than that. Not wasting their money on junk like this. Like, Jericho says stupid garbage. They make a t-shirt and they buy it. Like, get a fucking grip. AEW fans are very special. Yeah. Ice cream bar wrapper comes with free neckbeard saliva. Who would pay money? Who imagine paying money for somebody's chocolate bar wrapper or his empty can of Coke if it was Elvis Presley and he would fucking drink out of the can himself, or and you you could prove it or whatever. I wouldn't pay for that, but these people are paying $1,000, not even eaten by punk. It's eaten by big retards in the arena. And they paid money for that. Like AEW is PWG with a budget. That's what it is. I've seen some of these PWG shows. It was so goofy, like incredibly goofy stuff. But apparently they don't like sports entertainment. When PWG have goofy fucking stupid shit there. When Shikara has men dressed up as insects wrestling with insect gimmick. Like, you know what I mean? That's okay. That's good. You know, according to Truth Slayer back in the day, PWG, they knew how to fucking do family wrestling. Oh, yeah, fuck, I should watch. I watch and it's men dressed like fucking turtles and insect and mice wrestling each other. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know what I mean? Garbage, folks. It's hypocrisy. Like PS Power said back in the day when these indie fans claimed that it was better than WWE there. All we could do is take their word for it because we couldn't see it, right? And now that we can see, hold on, folks, let me switch my shit around there. Okay. Now that we can see the fucking product that they put out, we can see that it's garbage. Like, we can see that most of the time it's actually worse than WWE. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like I watch some indie shows on YouTube, like little matches, little stuff. You look in the comments, it's all the same. This is better than WWE, better than WWE. And it's not. Like, it's fucking terrible. Do you listen to Dave Meltzer's show? I listen to some shit that I can get for free. I wouldn't pay to listen to it. WJ, do you still have your red, white, and blue beanie? I think it must be gone there. It ended up in the trash somewhere. I listen to Meltzer for certain things there, you know what I mean, for free, you know. I I wouldn't pay for that. Why would I pay? It's his opinion, you know what I mean. Let's talk about Meltzer for a sec there. This whole appeal to Meltzer fallacy all the time, you know. Meltzer said it's 5 stars. And these indie fans, they talk about their Kenny matches, they talk about whatever. And they say, oh, it's a 5-star match, right? They claim it as though it's a fact. By claiming it like that it's a fact, that it's a 5-star match, you're committing a logical fallacy. Okay, what you're doing is you're taking Meltzer's subjective opinion and presenting it as fact, right? There's no way that Meltzer could judge accurately something like this, you know what I mean? And say that it's a 5-star or it's 5.25, you know? It's like if I say, how's the sky tonight? How's the beauty of the sky? Oh, it's a 6.25. How can I judge that? It's not a thing that can accurately be judged. It's impossible. It's subjective. You know what I mean? So when these fans are claiming it's a 5-star match, right? Basically, they're saying Meltzer's the authority, and he says it's 5-star match. Well, that's a logical fallacy, folks. Okay, just appealing to an authority of some sort or whatever. There, it's a logical fallacy. And here's the thing: Meltzer isn't an authority. He's just a guy giving his review and his opinion. You know what I mean? Like me, I'm just a guy. If I say it's 4-star match, it's not true. Like, it's not something you can measure. It's subjective. It makes no sense. So Meltzer is not a legit authority or whatever. You know what I mean? So saying it's 5 stars because the authority figure Meltzer says so, that's a fucking logical fallacy, and it's a big fail. You know what I mean? Just because Meltzer says that, you know, WWE, they only had 4 stars. You know, New Japan had fucking, a couple of 5 stars. That means it's better. That's fake. It's not real. It's bullshit. It's logical fallacy. So Meltzer, it's garbage, straight up. Like, his star ratings, nothing but opinion. Kenny, best of all time, because Meltzer gave him outlandish ratings for a few Japanese matches. Worthless. It's fucking worthless. You know, as a fan, you know that Shawn Michaels is better than Kenny Omega. You know that The Rock is better than Kenny. You know that. You don't need Dave Meltzer to, he's not an authority. He's nothing. And indie fans using Meltzer constantly there as their weapon, their garbage, worthless, fucking trash. You know what I mean? And here's another thing. And also, before I get into the other thing, Meltzer gets a lot of shit wrong. You know what I mean? He gets a lot of shit wrong. Some of it he gets right, but a lot of it is based on speculation. Like, McMahon is evil for this, he's evil for that. All of that, a lot of it is fake or it's exaggerated, or he's getting this from a source who heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody. It's not like like all these things is all factual just because Meltzer says it is. Big fail. You know what I mean? The days of indie fans are right because they're quoting Meltzer. That's fucking dead. Thanks to AEW, you know what I mean? Stray Gamer, when Meltz gets caught in the lie, he just says plans change. That's right. He has many different kinds of excuses like this. You know what I mean? A lot of what he says just doesn't come to be true. You know what I mean? So these guys, the McMahon did this, McMahon, he says this, he says that. They're just repeating bullshit that comes from Meltzer. It's all worthless, most of that stuff. You know what I mean? McMahon is evil because he hoards talent, right? Wasn't that the story for the first year when AEW didn't have anybody on their roster? Oh, McMahon is evil because he hoards talent. Meltzer told him this there. And now it's McMahon is evil because he releases wrestlers. So which is it? Straight up. He's evil when he hoards. He's evil when he lets them go. What the fuck? Like, anything that happens, they find a spin for anything. It's like politics, like really. And also, folks, match rating, their match quality overall is irrelevant. Straight up, it is. Okay. Dave Meltzer is going to decide that an indie match somewhere is 5 stars. He's going to decide that the latest match of Goldberg is only 2 stars or whatever. Okay. You watch the Goldberg match. It's a short match. It's only 6-7 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean? But during those 6-7 minutes, you were impressed with some of the stuff Goldberg did. You might have laughed at a couple things that happened, like Bobby Lashley punches or this. He chokes out the son of Goldberg or something. If you're watching it and you're entertained, you're laughing, you laugh at what you're seeing or whatever, you're impressed with some of it, you're entertained by it, even if Meltzer says that it's 2 stars. You know what I mean? And then you watch this supposed 5-star match between 2 midget jobber worthless fucks that you don't give 2 shits about. You watch this, it's a 30-minute match. By the time the match is over, you're fucking comatose. Like, you know what I mean? You're like this, you know what I mean? So you can have a supposed 5-star match according to Meltzer. You watch it and it's boring as fuck. Like, how many times are we supposed to be impressed with a midget that does a suicide dive and a super kick? How many times can you be impressed with the same fucking shit? You know what I mean? A lot of these supposed matches, they're supposed to be so great, so phenomenal. I watch and I'm almost fucking passing out. If it was so good, why am I falling asleep when I watch it? You know what I mean? And then you watch a match that's apparently only 2-star and it's more entertaining. You know what I mean? Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, they didn't have 5-star matches. Fucking, it was better than anything that Meltzer fucking likes. You know what I mean? Meltzer, like you look at the Hogan era, the fans were fucking melting in their seats for Hogan. They were coming in their seat. They were freaking out for Hogan, the fans, like freaking the fuck out big time. You know what I mean? Extreme reactions to Hogan. They would chant for him for an hour after the match. He would be like this, fuck, for 45 minutes after his match. You know what I mean? And the fans would, if they could, if Hogan would have stayed in the ring, they would have stayed there till the next 2 days to keep cheering for him. You know what I mean? But according to him, it's only 1.5 star. Like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? You look at the shit he likes, some of it might be okay, other times it's fucking boring. You know, back when he still enjoyed NXT, he would give them a 5-star match on every show or whatever, Some of these NXT matches, like a 40-minute long fucking match. By the time it's finished, I'm happy it's done. You know what I mean? Like, as a wrestling fan, I've been watching it for 30 years. Like, I never sat there and obsessed over the wrestling moves. I liked some of the moves from some of the wrestlers when I was a kid. You know what I mean? As a grown man, like, maybe some moves would impress me there if I see something for the first time. Sometimes I'm gonna say it's a cool move or whatever, but like I would never sit there and worship jobbers. Like I don't get what's the point of that. You know what I mean? I never thought of, hey, this is a 5-star match. Hulk Hogan sucks. Dean Malenko should be champion because he had a 5-star match. I never thought of it like this. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, an adult, I would see Hogan, I would look at Austin. Never would I think, hey, Austin isn't as good as a wrestler as whoever. There, never would I think like this. You know what I mean? Who would think like that? You know, it's just fucking weird. You want to be entertained. I don't want to see midgets just having a wrestling match. Them, the indie fans, it's like they don't care who's in the ring. They just want to see a wrestling match. Like, I've never been that desperate to just watch a match of wrestling. You know, me, I want to see guys who are good wrestling. It's okay to watch an indie show once in a while. I go to my dad's, he has all these indie feds. He'll put on some random indie fed because he knows I watch wrestling. And like it's gonna be an indie fed, the small shitty show, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll watch a small shitty show like this. It's fun sometimes to see Big Loser, big dumb loser, a 400-pound loser, indie guy or something. The rest shitty low budget wrestlers, you know what I mean? It's fun sometimes to see this, but to turn around and to say that this is better than WWE, it makes no fucking sense. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? I watched a couple of shows of Major League Wrestling, MLW. You know, I saw a show or two. I thought it was okay, kind of deal. Then I completely forgot it existed there, but like, never would I think that it's better. Like, who thinks like this? You know what I mean? Like, I grew up watching real wrestling, WWE, WCW, you know, and the feds that were there before my time, NWA when it was big, AWA, they all wrestled the same thing. It was promos and regular wrestling matches, just like WWE, the same stuff. You know, back then they had chairs to the head, shit like this, and the feds there. But, you know, the wrestlers were better in those eras or whatever. Not every wrestler was better than every wrestler today. You know, obviously Steve Austin is better than everybody, but like you still had mid carders and jobbers, you know, in every era, but they all wrestled a normal wrestling match. You know, TNA, they differentiate between a normal match and the next division match. You know what I mean? Most of the time, it's a regular match. You know, not everybody in TNA tries to do a bunch of flips because TNA actually started off as a normal company. It was shitty there, but does Steiner still wrestle? I think I've seen some stuff of Scott Steiner in the Indies. Somebody wrote he saw Steiner on NWA. I think I've seen Steiner versus Orange Cassidy. Could I be wrong there? Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, Taker, Triple H, Kane, Warrior, Macho Man, real larger than life badasses that you wouldn't be embarrassed to be seen rocking their shirt in public. When I was a kid, I had, NWO t-shirt, you know what I mean? I used to wear that, and it was cool back then when I was in the 7th grade or whatever. Um, but wrestling, it's always been normal. This idea that regular wrestling is bad and D&D style is the best, that's just retarded Dave Meltzer stuff. That doesn't match or compute with my 30 years of wrestling knowledge. And it doesn't match or compute with anybody else that you can take seriously there. You know what I mean? Like Meltzer, fucking, I don't know. Lance Storm, who works for Meltzer, might tell you that indie wrestling is better. Who fucking knows? But like, ask fucking regular wrestlers from the old days, Jim Ross. They all talk about real wrestling being the best. You know what I mean? Nobody that you can take seriously is going to say that this Dave Meltzer flippy style of wrestling is the best. Nobody that's serious in the world of wrestling says this. Only Meltzer and his retarded followers and weirdo indie fans. Not all indie fans are like this, but the Meltzer, New Japan, these people are just fucking weird. They're the 5-star fruitcakes or 5-star freaks, whatever you want to call them. They're Peter Spence, Lance Storm sucks. I fuck Lance Storm. Bias motherfucker. And now he works for Dave Meltzer. Imagine that, a wrestler working for Dave Meltzer. Embarrassing. Was Keith Lee overrated in WWE? Yes. He was just in NXT. It was Smarks backing this guy. You know what I mean? He's not an SJW, just a boomer Democrat. Meltzer, maybe. I don't know about his political beliefs there. Keith Lee was always boring. He's just a big guy that tried to wrestle like a smaller guy, I guess. I don't fucking know. He was a bit fat. He was very fat with a weird face. You know what I mean? Just a weird looking guy there. What was special about him? I don't know. Not Meltzer, WJ. I meant Cornette. Like Cornette is a big liberal or whatever. There, he hates Trump. I don't know. He's not SJW, but he hates conservative. Keith Lee was with PWG. What else is there to say? Is that why they like him or whatever? Smarks like Lee because he was obese. They did the same thing with the fat girl on Raw there, Piper Niven or whatever. Her name is Piper Dewdrop there. They like Dewdrop because she's big or whatever there. Basically, NXT was like Gulliver's Travels with all the little Pewsians. I never seen that Gulliver's Travel. Hilo Brownlee. Just a big fat guy, bland as fuck. He had a weird look. That's the only thing that made him stand out. What was his weird look? Please do drop 40 pounds. Do you like Sammy Guevara? I like Sammy a little bit there. I think he's a bit of a standout, I guess. I don't know why there. Do I think he's world title material? No. He could be on NXT as a cruiserweight champ there or something like this. I don't think he's world. Apparently, he's one of the pillars of AEW. I don't think the guy could make or break a company there, but I think he's an okay little wrestler there. I'm okay with him for whatever reason there. Chris Jericho is annoying as fuck nowadays. Pretty much. Are you a fan of Braun Breaker? I am. Yes, I like Braun Breaker. I'm not, I don't watch NXT every week there, but I watch the clips of Breaker that pop up there. Um, Mark Henry in '99 better than Keith Lee. Like Mark Henry was way more intimidating. Like Jerry told me, apparently Keith Lee, it's his finishing move is named after Dragon Ball Z or something like that. Like it's pretty fucking popcorn. When that's what they fucking named their moves after. A fucking 350-pound guy he needs to promote that he watches Dragon Ball Z or whatever. Kenny Omega's finisher is named after a video game. I talked about this recently. Video game fans, they're not going to come and watch. Killer Cross might go to AEW, says Smarks Killed Wrestling. Probably. Keith Lee, too, most likely. Braun Breaker should be NXT champ. Why did they keep the belt on the old man? He looks like he's 50 years old. They should have put the belt on Braun Breaker there. If they want to push a young guy, why not give it to him? Fuck all the recent NXT champs, they fucking release them. You put the belt on Breaker. If it doesn't work, it don't work. You just fucking, but I think it will work. You know what I mean? He looks like a wrestler. He talks like a wrestler. I like Dragon Ball Z. I'm not going to support Keith Lee over it. Well, exactly. People who are into games or comic books or they're not going to come and watch because Rey Mysterio dresses up like the Riddler or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I was surprised to learn that Champa is only 35, 36. No, I don't believe that. Fuck, he's as gray as a mule. Fuck. He's almost as gray as Will's World Entertainment. Just kidding. Wrestling and Dragon Ball Z don't mix. Sting is 62, still wrestling. I am a gamer, as you can tell by my name, but I don't want my wrestlers. So, like, it's not going to attract anybody by doing this kind of crossover stuff, you know. When they did the stuff with NBA, they tried to get NBA fans to watch. What they got from NBA fans was bashed and put down and embarrassed. You know what I mean? You know, and I talked about this recently. The people from NBA Twitter that were bashing AEW, those were all former fans, lapsed fans, right? Somehow NBA fans got an eye of the AEW product for some reason. What did they do? They bashed the shit out of it. They bashed the shit out of Jericho for being fat, stuff like this. They were calling this bootleg WWE or whatever. You know what I mean? The product, the lapsed fans, at least, who saw AEW through this NBA Twitter deal, they bashed the shit out of it. You know what I mean? That is what real fans from the past would say. You know, they need to stop turning wrestling into a real life video game. That's what I felt like when I watched this New Japan. It looked like I was watching Street Fighter or some kind of fighting game. Like, the fuck is this? Like, the most relevant Jericho has been is when he got roasted by NBA fans. These fans bashed the shit out of him and they bashed the shit out of the product. AEW fans embarrassed themselves in front of these NBA people, acting like big, sensitive nerds. They were writing to these fans, please, if you're a former fan of wrestling, please come back and watch AEW. It's very embarrassing. Big time. Big time. WJ, did you hear about the Travis Scott concert tragedy? No, I don't. Never heard of Travis Scott to begin with. Sounds like a country singer kind of name there. I don't know who he is. Colby Covington called AEW second tier wrestling and that he might go to AEW. I saw that, an article of that or something. I don't know who that guy is there, as some kind of UFC fighter or MMA fighter. We saw Mike Tyson go to AEW. When he was there one time at ringside, he was straight up yawning when he was there. Like, he was paid money to be there and he was straight up fucking passing out right there, like on camera. Embarrassing, you know what I mean? Straight up passing out, folks. See a little bit of chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. I'm starving. Their supper's coming. Let's Queen Anne, folks. Let's see what this is. There, Jesus. I got supper coming when she gets back with the supper. Gonna fucking have to stop and eat there, but some kind of cherry chocolate, folks. I found this in the fridge the other day there. Roads to the Rotten reality show exposes AEW in a bad way. I didn't see the show, but I heard that apparently Cody was talking to wrestlers backstage. Cherry, folks, I mean, woo! God damn! Apparently, Cody Rhodes was talking to one of the wrestlers, and the wrestler said he had anxiety or something, like, for his promo. Like, what the fuck kind of bitch boys are they in AEW? Like, why the fuck would you advertise that? That the wrestler has too much anxiety to do his fucking job as a wrestler. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing that, like, I understand a lot of these smarks, like, I don't know if this is like an SJW thing, the way that they act with Mauro Ranallo there, like, they gotta coddle Mauro Ranallo because he's bipolar or whatever, you know. I have anxiety, depression, OCD. You know what I mean? I'm not as bad as Mauro Ranallo there, but nobody's fighting my battles. Nobody feels bad for me. You know what I mean? Like, what's this AEW? Like, I'm not saying not to care for people's anxiety and bipolar stuff. Like, I don't want to sound like some sort of heartless dick there, but like, I understand the smargs, they were defending Mauro Ranallo or whatever. It was like a big fashion for them to defend Mauro and attack JBL. They want to pat themselves on the back. I'm a good person. And in reality, they're the ones bullying JBL there, but a lot of hypocrisy with this SJW stuff there. So maybe Cody Rhodes, the thought process, hey, I'm going to talk about this wrestler's anxiety so we can look good there. I can look like I'm a good guy. I'm helping the anxiety-ridden wrestler. We here in AEW, we take care of the mental people or whatever the fuck they're trying to portray, you know? But in reality, fans don't want to hear this, that the wrestler has mental problem. You know what I mean? Fans don't want to hear that the wrestler is too scared to cut a promo. That's just fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Fans respect wrestlers that can cut promo. Fans respect people that can cut a promo on the fly or whatever. You know? Fans don't want to hear about a wrestler, how he has too much anxiety and he's not man enough to cut a promo. Fans don't want to fucking see this, you know what I mean? Rocky 01542. Will you ever do religion or politics trolling videos again? I'm pretty much done with all forms of trolling, you know. Done with all forms of trolling and pretty much gonna talk wrestling. I'm gonna talk a bit of non-wrestling, possibly in the Wrestling Jesus group. I might do the odd non-wrestling vid there, but it's time for me straight up to quit fucking around, you know? It's time for me to quit fucking around, quit closing accounts, and just give the people what they want, which is wrestling talk. You know what I mean? People don't subscribe to me to listen to me talk about Star Wars or me, myself, I don't really want to talk about Star Wars either, you know. It's best that I just do what I'm good at, which is talking wrestling, basically, there. I'm gonna do other stuff, but not like the days of non-wrestling channels and shit like that is pretty much done. But I'm gonna be doing a little bit of shit non-wrestling stuff in the group, maybe the Wrestling Jesus group. Um, WJ's music. I would have to buy like a new keyboard, and I would have to get fucking like programs on the computer and shit like this. You know what I mean? Before I would use an old machine to record, like an old 8-track recorder. You plug the keyboard, you plug the mic, you do multiple. You know, one track is drum, one track is bass, one track, then a few track for lyrics or whatever. I used to record like that, but I don't know if the machine would still work. WJ, did you watch Bound for Glory? I didn't. I heard that Moose beat a guy called Josh Alexander after he finished beating Christian. And now Moose is TNA champ. I would have had Moose beat Christian, like, you know what I mean? To try to put Moose over a bit more. What's the point of putting the belt on the fucking jobber? Nobody. Who looks like a fucking dweeb, this Josh Alexander there. Apparently he's Canadian or something there, but why put the belt on the jobber like this and then have Moose beat the jobber? Wouldn't it be better for Moose to fucking beat Christian, you know, so that Moose can look a bit better? Is there Mexicans in Canada? There's some, yes. Not as much as in the States, obviously. Here, there's a lot of Lebanese around here, stuff like that. There's not as much Mexican. I used to work with a woman that came from Mexico there. Moose isn't a great talker or work rate guy, but I like him for some reason. Me too. That's what I said recently. I said the exact same fucking thing. He's not a good wrestler, but there's something about him I like. Maybe it's because he looks like a man, possibly. You know, in the wrestling world that's full of fucking acrobats and midgets and fucking Tessa Blanchard winning world title and TNA, you know, Eddie Edwards. At least Moose looks better than fucking Eddie Edwards, you know. Moose is entertaining. I agree, folks. I like Moose. I think his promo that he did that he's the best champ right now. Obviously not factual there, but I thought it was a good enough promo. He's like Lashley to me. I wish they could have kept the belt on Lashley. I know I just talked about this there, but fuck's sakes, man. Hopefully he wins the belt again. He's better than he's ever been, Lashley. He's doing good faces and stuff as a heel, you know. It sucks they took the belt off of him. Big E's not even serious. Like, fuck's sake, man. Jekko Knight, Dana Brooke is a wrestling goddess. She was on Raw. You're Dana Brooke, Jekko, and she says that she's been overlooked for far too long there. So she has a good body, a fitness model kind of deal there. Um, I don't know why they don't push her. I don't know. Maybe it's the big fake lips. I'm sorry, Jekko. I don't mean that. She's okay. I don't know why they don't push her there. Not that I think she deserves to be pushed there, but you tell me, Jekko. I mean, you tell me. Big man, Mick Verger, Mandy Rose is the best. She's something, folks. I mean, no offense, Jekko. Jekko's a big Dana Brooke supporter there. For some reason, I just buried her. I'm trying to be positive. I don't want to put out the message that I think Dana Brooke should get pushed or whatever. But Jekko likes her, and that's good enough for me. NF Pulse. Tony Khan, he's stiff as a board, but he's a good kid. Is that my NF Punk with a new name there? NF Pulse. Haven't spoken to NF Punk in far too long. It's the Costanza. Dana Brooke eats too many cookies. Toxic Attraction with Cora Jade. Least NXT has some stuff going on. I looked at a couple of the NXT clips last night. Some of it looked okay there. I looked at the Mandy Rose clip. I didn't watch like all of them because they weren't all out by the time I went to sleep there. But why would WWE rehire Eva Marie than just release her? She could have been a monster heel to these virgin fans. Straight up. Straight up, I have no fucking clue. You know what I mean? Did they cave in to the Smarks? What is it like? You know, she could at least be a manager. She's good looking. She can talk. She's not a great talker, but when she talks, the fans fucking react hard to it. You know what I mean? I wish I got paid 100,000 to eat at catering. I'm about to eat my supper now, folks. Some Dairy Queen, ladies and gentlemen. I got a Dairy Queen close to my place, and I eat a lot of it, folks. I mean, Killer Cross doing the Moxley method of putting a teaser video on Twitter. I might go look for that, see what that looks like there. The Smart Busters don't like Eva Marie, but most others seem to like her for a heel or so. The Smart Busters don't like anybody apart from a couple people there. I think they like Roman Reigns unless they change their stance on Roman. They like Roman and some of the older wrestlers there. I don't know if they like any of the new age women. What you snacking on, WJ? Right now, I'm eating nicotine gum. It's not as fun. I mean, the woman doesn't want me to smoke over here, folks. Secondhand smoke there. I can't disagree with her, folks. I'm gonna be eating some Dairy Queen soon. They like Roman, Lesnar, and Lashley only. I like those three as well. There, Lashley a few years ago when he was still in TNA, I messaged Lashley, Bobby, come back, or not come back, but go back to WWE. I said he was doing TNA and MMA at the time. I said, Bobby, if you would have stayed in WWE, you would have won multiple belts. I said this was a bad move to leave. I said if you go back, you could win the big belt instead of fucking around in TNA. I said go back to WWE to fucking right a wrong. I told him. I wrote him a big message on Twitter. I said you gotta go and right the wrong of you leaving like this there. Go back and be the champ that you can be or whatever. And Lashley replied, he said, I respect your opinion, but I'm just going to do what I want to do. And I replied back, I said, Bobby, no offense, I'm not trying to tell you what to do like that there, but I just fucking wish you go back. And he did, folks, and he became the world heavyweight champion there. But they took it off him way too early. You know what I mean? Way too fucking early. Both WJ and Jerry should be on Smartbusters Live again. Once the strike wears off, did they get hit with a strike? Is that what Stray Gamer was talking about earlier? Roman, Lesnar, Lashley, and Goldberg, the only four men in wrestling today that actually look like real pro wrestling star. And Lashley was starting to get that aura about him that he's a big fucking deal there. Um, I hope they put the belt back on him. He's way better than Big E as the world champ. Fuck's sake. Heaven's Cloud, 1986. Dominic is a bore bag wrestler. Honestly, I didn't see much of what Dominic did on SmackDown there. I went almost a year barely watching SmackDown. I'm going to start reviewing it on Saturday for you guys there since it's the most watched show. But they did because Righty talked about the COVID vaccine. Shit, man. You can't voice an opinion anymore, folks. You know what I mean? Especially on places like Facebook and stuff there. So thank you very much for watching. Dominic is on Raw now. Yeah, like I've seen him on Raw the other day getting beat up by Bobby. I enjoyed that. I liked Dominic at first, but like I didn't see fuck all he did on SmackDown. I would just watch the Roman Reigns stuff for the most part and the big stuff that would happen there. I didn't waste my time watching Chad Gable matches there. But I think Dominic seriously needs to hit the fucking weights. Like, his arms are like half the arms of Adam Cole, and he's fucking got skinny arms. Bobby putting Dominic in the fucking full Nelson, and you see these scrawny little arms, flailing around, like hit the fucking gym. Like Rey Mysterio's a small guy. Rey's got arms like this. You know what I mean? His father put the work in. He needs to do the same fucking thing if he wants to be a star. Dom has the height. He needs to go to the gym with his dad. Apparently, that's what he hasn't learned that lesson. Apparently, there, but I like Dominic. He has something about him that I like there, mostly because he's the son of Mysterio, I guess. Ray is more buff than his own son. He's 3 times his size. Dominic versus Goldberg's son would be more believable. At some point, he might end up in the ring, the son of Goldberg. You could see that he's his father's son and he's getting big. You know what I mean? I think Ray should turn heel and have one more run with the title. They could still at least have him compete for it a few times, you know. So that's it, folks, for today. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to connect the StreamYard. If I can't figure it out, then we're going to be using this system, folks, there. So yes, videos coming here for the Wrestling Juggernauts page. I'm probably just going to do live stuff with Jerry on there. Sometimes we do 2 lives in a week. Sometimes we do 1. Sometimes we don't do any if we're both busy or whatever there. But definitely this page fucking stays open. I don't care if I have to take a break for 2 months and not upload. I'll fucking keep the bastard open. And me and Jerry promised to each other that we're going to do the same thing with Juggernaut. Rocky, don't burn yourself out. Good point. You know, good point. So I'm going to do mostly here is where all my effort is going to go there, you know. But I will do stuff with Jerry on Juggernauts, but it's going to be like a once or twice a week deal, possibly not every week. And I'm going to be doing shit here and a couple of bonus vids in the Wrestling Jesus group. But I'm not going to kill myself for the Facebook group there, but I'm going to put some effort in this channel again, folks. Live shows, reviews, night news, baby. I'm going to do it all. Old stuff, new stuff. It's a new fucking era, folks. If I close the page, I'm doing vids on Facebook for fucking 50 views. There might as well stick around. Quit being a big fucking goof and just stick around, folks. So thanks for watching. Lots of content coming. There no more bullshit, folks. Until next time, peace. Your stream will stop immediately. You will no longer be live.